2016 Longsjo. This is the 55th running of it in Fitchburg, and we are downtown in Rollstone Bank and Trust Park, and it is a beautiful day for racing. If you don't plan on coming down, change your plans, because it is a great day and there are food trucks, there are vendors, and there's a ton of good races that are going on. We've been to both Leominster and Worcester and gotten some clips of both of those races that we'll show to you throughout the broadcast. I just want to thank everybody who has come out so far and the great FATV crew that is broadcasting this live. Now, this isn't the only thing that's going on lately. There are a bunch of civic days that are happening between this weekend and next weekend. And there's a clip that I caught up with Diane Burnett and Joe Caddy, and they tell us a little bit more about what's going on. Let's take a look at that clip. I'm Stephanie Allison for FATV. Join us this weekend for the 2016 Civic Days right here in downtown Fitchburg. We've got lots of exciting events happening, so stay tuned for more. And I am here with Diane Burnett, who is co-chairman of Fitchburg's Civic Days. Diane, how is this event going for you this year?
It is. It's going very well. We're out here doing our last food drive, trying to inform the public, get them to know what's going on, come and celebrate, come and see all the fun things we have to do in our city. So we got a lot going on. So we're very pleased to be out here and telling people, come on, come down, see, explore our city.
And what is going on for these great civic days?
We have lots of things. We have a duck race, a barbecue, we have kids events, dog carriage and bike parade. There's 4th of July fireworks, the block party. That's our premier item, is our block party. The 4th of July parade will be on the 4th. The block party is on July 2nd from 5 to 10 p.m. and we're closing the streets off and we're gonna have a good time.
I can't wait for all these great events, and it's awesome to see so many people out fundraising. Did I see Stephen Hay up there?
Stephen Hay's up there. We have lots of different folks that come out and they try to help, and they see somebody they recognize and they drop some money in the bucket and it all goes to the cause.
That's fantastic, and we can't wait for these great events.
Thank you.
Thank you, Diane.
Come down and enjoy.
It is Civic Day, Stephanie, right here in our city, the city of Fitchburg 2016, the Art Wall, right here downtown across from Rollstone Bank and Trust Park. Incredible new artwork by young and old alike artists right here in the city of Fitchburg. It was just a great day. We're going to take a look around at these tiles and move on to you.
And I caught up with Joel Caddy, and we are at the Art Wall right here in Fitchburg. Can you tell me a little bit about what you're doing?
Yes, well, we built this wall 3 years ago through Pride, the Main Street group. And at that time, Jerry Beck was involved. We brought out 1,000 of these tiles to the school kids to be painted. 3 years ago, now they've started to deteriorate. So with the help of Pride again, Matt Funya, Elite Construction, Jay Bride, Fitchburg State University, they got the blocks cut. They sent them out to the school kids in Fitchburg, and each of the elementary schools returned 100 or more blocks, all painted, and we've been resurrecting this wall. It's been very fun. You'll notice that people will be walking up Main Street and they'll stop at this wall and just kind of study them for a while. Little kids will come down with their parents who painted the blocks to show their parents the block that they painted. It's been a great project. It's really been wonderful.
And it's great to see. You can't see them all when you walk by the first time.
Yeah, there's 1,000 blocks on this wall.
That's incredible.
Well, there's going to be 1,000 blocks when I get done.
And now it's Longsjo season here in Fitchburg.
Yeah. Last year, the director of the Longsjo, Don Enjemy, contacted me, and he wanted me to bring my event, Fitchburg Rides, on the same day as the Longsjo, and make the entire day a bike event in Fitchburg. So what's happening on that day, June 26th, which is a Sunday, is we'll have an antique bike sale and swap right at the Rollstone Bank parking lot. People come from all over the state and states, New England states, to go to this antique bike swap. Our 4th annual Ivor Johnson Bike Show will be at the Historical Society right here. We're going to have at least 100 antique Ivor Johnsons that start in the late 1800s. Then we coupled with Ernie Martineau and the Fitchburg Police Department, and we're putting on a bike rodeo for children. It's a safe bike seminar. We're going to give away helmets, and we're going to give away some bicycles to the kids. And then we have a hill climb race at 1 o'clock on one of the steepest hills over near the old high school. During the time of this event, Longsjo will be running their bike races, the mayor's races this year. We have a kids race, and then you have the semi-professionals and professional races coming in for the event.
That's incredible. A lot of stuff going on.
A lot of stuff going on. I think it's going to be a great year this year.
I can't wait to see how the races go.
Me too. Well, the fun part of the whole day is giving a little kid a bicycle. It's a lot of fun. Their faces light up, and that's a great cause.
And teaching kids to be safe is the best way to do it.
Exactly.
Thank you so much for spending time with us.
Thank you very much.
And we've already seen the men's 3-4 and the men's 4-5 rather, and the women's 3-4 this morning. And if you notice, a lot of the people have matching jerseys. Well, a lot of them actually do teamwork. We got to catch up with one from Boston University, Eric Lowell, and Glenn Fossa got a chance to talk to him in Leominster.
Eric Lowell, riding for the Boston University and some other sponsorship. It's all about racing, and of course, you have to prepare. Eric, good to see you today. Thanks for taking a little time. Tell us more.
So, it's my first race of the season. Coming off winter where I didn't do much. New member of Monster Media Racing. My first race in the BU kit in a while, so I'm excited. Moving fast out there so far.
So how long have you been racing? When did you pick it up?
Well, I picked up biking about 2.5 years ago, and I have one race season under my belt. Just trying to start making some moves now. Start winning some stuff, I hope.
Thanks so much, Eric. Get back to what you're doing. This is Longsjo.
And I've just got the word that the next race, the men's 50 plus, is already underway. Let's get back to the races.
This category as well. A lot of these guys are going to race both the 40 plus and the 50 plus. Also up near the front. So you're going to have that CCB 1-2 punch, but they also have a very good rider in Jimmy Nash as well. The mustached winner of the Bat and Kill Road Race a few years ago.
You know, Richard Freeze just named 3 riders for players last night in a breakneck speed ascent onto the finish line. And you got Tyler Monroe, Jimmy Nash, and you got Paul Richards. Paul Richards ended up winning the event last night, the 40 plus. And really picked up a lot of points. Might be in the leader's jersey or right up near the front. And of course, James Nash, he's been around New England for many, many years. Very savvy individual. Excellent rider. And his wife is also a terrific competitor. Runs in the family. They all ride for CCB Cycle Club Basingstoke out of the Netherlands. Going to be a couple of laps before the lap cards show up.
We're brought to you today by Rollstone Bank and Trust, which has brought us our Jumbotron. You can watch the entire day's racing right here on the big screen, right in the finish area. Dick Green, you've got the results of the last race.
Well, I'll tell you something. Now, we're going to go for our top 10. And Cody Harris won himself a great bicycle race. And Stephanie... it looked like McElroy ended up in second spot. Third spot, Caitlin Dowd. And of course, the one rider that Richard and I had pegged to win this, Rachel Rubino, she ended up in fourth spot right there at the finish line. Fifth went to Megan Woodacre. And of course, Laura Campbell was in there for sixth spot. Seventh went to Channel Zessel. Also, Elena Ruben Wood ended up in 8th spot. 9th went to Julie Vanderhoek from the Netherlands. And in 10th spot, Angela Preston. What a field of women competitors that are going to be coming up through into the upper ranks in another year.
Well, all those Dutch names making it hard for us. Tell you what, I'm looking for breakfast. I'm going down to the Boulder Drive food trucks. I'm going to report back.
Richard, you go get yourself a cup. There you go. There's some lemonades on the line. Hold the ball. Richard doesn't want to gain too much weight.
Yeah, I'm going to go down there. Apparently there's a kids' bike rodeo. They're giving away free bikes. There is free helmets. They have all sorts of cool stuff going on down there. So it's one of the best race courses, Dick Ring, that I know of to walk the entire course. And what's cool, you can bring your phone and stream it live on FJTV.org while you're down there.
Boy, the field, they're all packed together. Right now, what the officials are doing, they're taking an average for the first few laps, and then they'll get an idea as to what's going to take place and how many laps to go. But it looked like Eric Morrow just shot off the road. He rides for the Sunapee cycling team.
When he gave you the Rattler set?
Eric Morrow took off with, on that lap when they come up through the start-finish line area. He's opened up a little bit of a gap going down that very fast back straightaway. Eric Morrow, one of the finer cyclocross riders in New England, and he is a master competitor. He has been racing for many years, and he has helped a lot of riders win races, and he has won quite a few himself. The riders are down into the back straightaway, and then they start straightaway coming up the hill by the old town hall, and then they'll be coming up into the finish line. And okay, it looks like they're going to put up as we speak, and it looks like they stopped. It's going to be 15 to go with the riders in the line. See, this is good that the riders realize what the officials are doing, but once they know how many laps to go, they interrupt it. Gentlemen, you are looking at 15 laps remaining in the bike race. 15 to go. Cliff Bar rider. Hanging loose out there. They're all bunched going through the upper common. Now they're heading down in a very fast downhill through the whole situation here. Joseph Vergara, one of the riders out front. I've got my eye peeled on Paul Richards, who won last night at 40 plus. James Nash, his teammate, and Tyler Monroe gave Paul Richards a great lead out, set him up for the finish. Funny part of it is, it wasn't said and done until the last 50 meters. Made a little bit of a move on the front coming down into the start-finish line area. Paul Richards had to swing way over into the barriers and sneak on by, and he did so at speed and had enough speed going, so he won himself the bike race. Almost got trapped. Tyler Monroe showed him the way through, and he took advantage of it. Riders coming up the hill. They're approaching the old town hall. They'll be coming through the corner. Rick Roberti, that has been providing the pace cars for all 3 stages. Last night had a blast for himself. Really showed his driving skills. Now you got 2 riders trying to put on a little charge, opening up a gap. A little bit of a stall at the front of the field. That's going to give the leaders a little bit of an advantage. Bill Caligari, Lennon Bicycle Association out of Sheffield, Massachusetts. Also with him is Bill Sawyer. Bill Sawyer, I've watched him over the years, very consistent rider, knows what he's doing out there, also very proficient at the discipline of cyclocross. The 2 riders, they've joined forces. Even though they're on different teams, they work together. Because, you know, if you're able to make it stick, which it's a long way from the finish line, and it's going to be a hard deal. You've got a lot of fast people up in that field, but they're putting on a charge and seeing if they can get a breakaway going. Bill Sawyer, over his tenure in New England, he's won a lot of races. Fine competitor, excellent sportsman. Credit to the game of cycling. Bill Sawyer. Riders are looking at 13 laps to go, 13 to go. Now here's another rider that was in the 40 plus last night, Don Seib. Don Seib hails from Maine. He owns a bike shop up there. He went to Maine because his son is an excellent cross-country skier. And Don is himself, and they're all into ski racing. So they spend the winter cross-country skiing. Tyler Monroe is up with the lead 3. Now you've got things that are going to start to get a little bit faster out there. Good breakaway. These riders have been competing against one another for quite a few years. They know their strengths and weaknesses. But the 3 of them are going to join forces and see if they can open up a good gap. All right, ladies and gentlemen, now you've got 4 riders up with the break and a couple more are trying to catch up. The riders are looking at a dozen laps to go. 12 laps to go, gentlemen. Don Seib up in the front. Glued right to his wheel is Jeff McIntosh riding for the Corner Cycle out of Concord, New Hampshire. Hey, Doug, just like being in Europe. You think you're at the World Championships. Man, oh man, I'll tell you. The racing this weekend has been absolutely fabulous. On Friday night, the women, the gun was fired, and of course you're looking for a promenade. They were into the red zone before they hit the first corner, and it didn't stop. They beat up on one another. Oh man, oh man. And the men were faster. The racing's been phenomenal. One lone rider has opened up a little bit of a gap, and he's making his way through the short street, and he ought to be turning the corner and be on the main drag, and he'll be coming up at us in probably about a minute and a half, 2 minutes. We're going to see Rick Roberti's pace vehicle. Funny part of it is, when the finish line was down on the corner, down in front of the City Hall, we used to migrate up to this area because they had some shade, and you could see the riders coming and going. Is that Steve Pucci over there? It is. Lord love a duck, it's Steve Pucci. He's got 3 riders in here, and he's calling the shots for the 3 riders. One rider in the time trial mode, and he broke away a couple of laps ago, and it looks like he's still got the hammer down. Bill Caligari out of Sheffield, Massachusetts. I just took a quick look and saw that there's a Sunapee rider. I didn't catch a number, but I caught a glimpse, and I believe it's Timmy Shea. A little Irish power out there. Timmy Shea trying to put on a little bit of a charge. He's right up near the front of the field. Eric Morrow, a teammate, right with him. Well, I'll tell you, this TV screen, you just sit here and announce a bike race and watch them going down the back straightaway. And our lead rider took a little look behind. He's down near the end of the back straightaway, and he still has a pretty good gap. Bill Caligari riding for BCA, Boston Cycling Association. They went through that short street. They've just made the turn into the short stretch. You know, making their way out onto the main drag, coming up by the start-finish area, and they'll be heading our way. The laps are clicking on down. The last lap, they were looking at 11 laps remaining. When they hit the line, there's going to be 10 to go, I believe. John Fry said, yeah, 10 to go when they hit the line. He said, you got it. Don't be afraid to cheer this rider on. He's doing a terrific job out there. Bill Caligari. Bill's got 10 laps go, 10 to go. Well, everybody is swarming the front. Man, oh man, I'm looking down this start list, and Randy Rusk, he is in here. Toby Schultz. Toby won some preems on the first night. Gary Says Whiskey riding for Wheelworks out of Cambridge. He's up near the front of the field. Toby Schultz, he's right up near the front. Pat Saunders, all the way from Springfield. He rode up this morning. He left at about 4 this morning, and he wanted to stop for breakfast. He riding for the Cyclenauts. Pat Saunders originally came from Ireland, and he has been an outstanding rider in New England for many, many, many years. And he wanted to come up here and catch the Longsjo. Patrick, you made my day. The riders just went under the banner, and they were looking at 9 laps to go, 9 to go. Billy Rounds just rode up from Rhode Island. Billy Rounds, a phenomenal velodrome rider. He was with us up in Londonderry for quite a while. And he and his brother, Mike Rounds, outstanding riders for New England for 3 or 4 decades. They've raced in New England. Actually, they've been racing since they were junior riders. Tyler Monroe, I'm looking at CCB going down the back straightaway. I'm looking for Steve Pucci. He's got to be around here somewhere, giving some directions and cluing his riders in what's going on up in the front of the field. Now he's starting to spring some of his riders. We're getting into the single numbers now. Riders were looking at 9 to go. When you get down into the last few laps, you're thankful when you get a couple of teammates, and between Tyler Monroe and Nash and Paul Richards, you got 3 very, very strong riders that were animators last night at Worcester with the 40+, with Paul Richards winning the event from a lead out from Tyler Monroe and Jimmy Nash. So they've done it last night. We're going to see what they can do here today. Alan Cody making his way up into the start-finish line area. Boy, I'll tell you something. Alan and Don Enjemy, they took on this project a few years ago to revitalize the Longsjo Classic. And what they've done over the last few years is absolutely amazing. Rick Roberti flying up into the start-finish line area. 8 laps to go. One lone rider trying to break off the front. 8 to go, gentlemen. Gary Dalton. Oh, man. Gary Dalton was a phenomenal promoter. He and his wife, Gail, they ran a lot of big pro races down in the Rhode Island area. Bill Sawyer was sitting at the front of the field. Gary Dalton, great to see him back on a bike. He's still got his fastball. I know his wife is floating around somewhere. Gail was a phenomenal promoter along with Gary. They kept racing going down in the Rhode Island area for probably 3 or 4 decades. Riders heading down the back straightaway. The riders had seen 8 to go, and they hit the line. They're going to be looking at 7. And when we get down around 5 laps to go, I'm waiting for some fireworks to explode in the field. With so much talent in there, I'm waiting for somebody to really, really rock that field. this rider that just rode in off the course. He rode from Albany, New York this morning, and he just hit here at Fitchburg, and he wanted to see the pro race. He's bringing all the road guards water. Here we go. 2 riders opening up a little bit of a gap. Looking at 7 laps to go. 7 to go, gentlemen. Gary Sadwiski, he's still hanging at the front of the field, and Gary Dalton is still right on his wheel. Gary hasn't backed off. That indicates, now Gary, I haven't seen him in a bike race in quite a few years, so evidently he's done some homework because he's hanging tough out front. I'm looking at Eric Morrow. I wouldn't even have to know what his number was. Eric Morrow has a distinct style. He puts his nose on the front wheel and he just goes as hard as he can. Excellent, excellent competitor. Boy. You know, we were just talking with a couple of young fellas here, and we were saying, you know, these gentlemen that you're watching are 50-plus years of age. And normally a 50-year-old is sitting on the couch watching a baseball game with a bottle of beer, a glass of wine, or whatever. These guys, they thrill that they're alive in the morning, and they get out of bed, and the first thing they want to do is go ride their bike. That's a good day for them. We're going to be looking at 6 laps to go, gentlemen. 6 laps remaining. It looked like Don Seib, that familiar riding style, all the way from Maine. Another rider right on Don Seib is Randy Rusk. Randy Rusk ended up with a scholarship to college because he was an excellent track rider. Somehow he got into the sport of bicycle racing. He started the Arkansas Club with a few other people down in Rhode Island, and he's been riding that club forever. You know what his occupation is? He's a pilot. Well, who does he fly for? FedEx. I've seen him fly all night long, land at 4 in the morning, go to the parking lot, grab his car that's loaded with his bikes, and headed to Sunapee or some other venue for a bicycle race. I've seen him get to races late, and the Masters field would be full, and he'd jump in and sign up for the Pro 1-2 and place in the top 10. Excellent, excellent athlete. Randy Rusk, Arkansas. Don Seib still at the front. Boy, you'd rather chase the wind on a pair of cross-country skis than to chase Don Seib. And he said, my kids put me to shame. That was one of the reasons he moved to Maine. He's got a son that is a very, very fine student and excellent marks and terrific international cross-country skier. And what they're hoping for is to get a college education out of the cross-country skiing. They're going to combine the studies with his skill as a cross-country skier. All right, you got a little splinter group of 4 riders coming up into the line. They're looking at 5 to go. Now, if they work together, they got something going here.
You guys want any more water? You good? Food should be coming soon.
That's Gary Sadwisky riding for Wheelworks. He has been with any move that is going off the front. And another one is Bill Caligliaro, and also hanging tough in there is Toby Schultz. Toby Schultz has put in 2 fine stages so far in this stage race. They've all connected. Tyler Monroe has just slipped up through on the inside. He is riding second wheel. That gives me an indication that he has communicated with Jim Nash and also Paul Richards. And Tyler, he's moved up to the front, and his 2 teammates are going to be right with him. They're getting down into 4 laps to go, and things are going to start to get rolling here. Don Seib wants to be up near the front. He knows the play because he was in the action last night. He doesn't want to be left at the door. They come out of that short street, they're into the main drag, and they're coming up by the old City Hall. They'll be coming up our way, and when they hit the line, they're going to be looking up, and it's going to be 4 laps remaining in the bike race. 4 to go. Hang on to your hat from here on in. Anything can take place. Boy, you got quite a group here. Don Seib leading the group. Gentlemen, you are looking at 4 laps remaining in the bicycle race. Toby Schultz, he's another one of these riders that reads a race very well, and he's looking at the horsepower that's up the front of that field. And again, he wants to be part of the action. Anything's going up the road, he wants to be there. He's a very, very fine sprinter. Don Seib is just such a strong individual in good shape. One rider opening up a little bit of a gap. Carlson. Eric has had some great races up here in Fitchburg, and this year he decided to cool his jets. Yeah, he did. Eric won here last year, and he wanted to just kind of lay back a little bit and wander around, see all his friends, and have a social day. The riders are into that short straightaway. When they bang the left-hand turn, they're going to be into the bottom of the stretch. They're going to head up into the line, and now we're getting down into the nitty-gritty of this event. They are going to be looking at 3 to go when they hit the line. Well, they're all together. It's a swarm of hornets coming up into the line. Gentlemen, you are looking at 3 laps remaining in the bike race. 3 to go. Schultze right up in the front. Also, right up in the front, and he's been there the last few laps, and that's Hank Feifel out of Down East, out of Brunswick. And they put on a wonderful show, he and his teammates, last year up at the Yarmouth Clam Festival. Boy, everybody's bunched up, and you got some horsepower in here. Nobody is going to ride away from this field. Not with 3 laps to go. Don Seib still at the front of the field. CCB swarming to the front. Tyler Monroe, Jim Nash, Paul Richards. They're up in the front. Woo. This is going to be a dynamite last couple of laps. You got to think to yourself that these riders, I remember them when they were young riders. A lot of them came out of the junior ranks, got up into the Category 4, worked their way to Category 3, worked their way up into Category 1, 2 Pro, and now they've got a few years on them, and instead of sitting on the couch watching ball games, they're out here riding their bicycles, keeping themselves in shape. Tyler Monroe owns a landscaping business, and you know how doggone hard a landscaper works during the course of the summer. Michael Humphreys out of the New Hampshire Cycling Club, New Boston, New Hampshire. He came down to Fitchburg and he wanted to put in a performance here at the famous Longsjo Classic, and he has accomplished that.
Well, Dick Ring, I'm back from Boulder Drive where they've got food trucks. They got a bounce house down by the bottom turn. They got amazing stuff going on. Race coming at us.
Riders are looking at 2 laps to go, gentlemen. 2 laps to go. 2 to go. Jimmy Nash is chasing down Joel Brown. Joel Brown riding for Cliff Bar. Joel Brown, by the way, was an announcer for quite a few years in the New England area. And then he backed off a little bit and he got out of cycling. I haven't seen him in quite a few years. Joel Brown looks like he's in good shape, riding for Cliff Bar.
Yeah, he's been racing with Gary Dalton. That's that Cox team that they put together. Now they're racing for that Cliff Bar Pactimo squad. All jammed up there. Good group of guys. Team starting to form up. It'll be 2 to go. Around the corner by the Rollstone Bank and Trust building, you can check out a really couple of great collectible bikes set up over there. If there's an old bike around, Billy Rounds is going to show up and be around there as we are seeing our riders forming up for the finish of this race. So Dick Ring, down at Boulder Drive, they've got a bounce house. For you little kids, they are giving away free bikes. Let me say this again. They're giving away free bikes at Boulder Drive with free helmets for kids. I am not kidding you. They are new bikes that they're giving away for children down at Boulder Drive. They're giving away, they've got stacks of bikes, and they're like, hey, come and get a bike.
Brand new bikes?
Brand new bikes. The girls get streamers. The boys have blue bikes. The girls have pink bikes. And a helmet. And a helmet. Giving it away. And they got the food trucks. They've got pizza ovens. They've got a bounce house. They got everything going on at the bottom of the course at Boulder Drive, down by the municipal offices. We go back to bike racing.
We've got the final lap coming at us. We got our pace vehicle coming up into the line. Everybody is still stacked at the front. They're not letting anybody go. Gentlemen, you are into the final lap of the bike race. 1 lap to go, LA. 1 to go. Jimmy Nash at the front. Mark Thompson out of Newcastle, England, riding for Sunapee, a great soccer player. Get on, he's a magician with a soccer ball. Oh man, he plays indoor, outdoor, doesn't make any difference, arena soccer. What an athlete. And a great time trialist, fantastic bike rider. Newcastle, England. Mark Thompson.
Toby Schultze setting right up in there. 5th wheel is rider number 636, Toby Schultze. Gene Petrella in there as well as in green. It's going to be a shootout. These are smart riders. They're all trying to find a teammate. Now, I saw Paul Richard on the start list. I don't see Paul Richard in the race, though. Tyler Monroe, if Tyler's going to win it, he's going to win it from far away.
You know, just like you, Rich, I've been watching for Paul Richards to make his way up there. He might on the back straightaway. Jack Nash, or Jim Nash is up there.
Big move, just pushed right through. Toby Schultz dove to the inside. This is all about getting position going into this sharp turn. Toby Schultz finds himself in a bad place on the front in the wind. Gary Jasdowski is the Wheelworks rider. In the pink sleeves, that might be Paul Richard coming into play right there. Best sprinter of the race is going to be third wheel right now. They're coming around that corner, out of the final corner they go, and then to the stretch they come.
Boy, I'll tell you, they're lighting it up. And now here's where the team tactics come into play. And Jack Nash is going to pick up Tyler Monroe. They're looking for Paul Richards to show his face up near the front. Then they're going to give him a lead out, see if they can pull it off. Toby Schultz is as fast as anybody.
Paul Richard is going. He's going early. He's going early. Has he gone too soon? Richard to the line. Can anybody come off that man's wheel? He will drive it to the line. 2 wins in as many days. And he's going to race again. Paul Richard.
Boy, oh boy, what a finish. And of course, Richard and I, we were holding our breath because down in the back straightaway, we kept looking for Paul to make his way up through to get on Tyler and Jim Nash. And all of a sudden,
Welcome back and talk about the Mayor's.
And we are back, the 2016 Longsjo right here in downtown Fitchburg. We are in the Rollstone Bank and Trust Park, and the race is sponsored by Rollstone Bank and Trust. And we have the Rollstone Bank and Trust Jumbotron, which the race is streaming on. And it's been a great day. We just saw the men's 50 plus wrap up, and we got to see a bunch of races also at Leominster. And also at Leominster, Glenn got to talk to Dean Mazzarella.
Mayor Mazzarella, of course. There's a mayor's race in each venue, Stephanie. We're in Leominster for the first leg, Worcester for the second leg, and of course, mayor's race goes on today in Fitchburg.
And so far, we've had Dean Mazzarella has won in Leominster, and Mayor Petty has won in Worcester. So I'm wondering who's going to win in Fitchburg.
Well, you know, Mayor Di Natale does it as exercise. He's really a bicyclist at heart, so it's really something to watch for.
Well, let's take a look at what Dean Mazzarella had to say.
2016 Longsjo wouldn't be complete unless we had our very own mayor of Leominster, Dean Mazzarella. Dean, just finishing up the mayor's race, certainly a breakaway in the end. You've got to be proud of today.
Well, I only wanted one thing. First of all, Mayor Petty came here with a bad knee, and he stuck it out the whole race. So he's the winner as far as I'm concerned. But all I wanted is, you'll never get a chance to drive down Merriam Ave as fast as you can pedal, take a left onto Main Street, a quick right onto Columbia, around Columbia onto Merriam, never. And that's all I cared about is I just wanted to, I told Mayor Di Natale, he said, I just want to let you know, pedal, you can win, I don't care. As long as I get the pedal as fast as I want down that hill, it's like an S. Never get a chance to do that again, ever.
Now, you mentioned the S-curves. That's almost like Grand Prix racing, and for an Italian, that's got to be great.
Oh, let me tell you, to watch the races, these pros, unbelievable. When they're coming down Merriam Ave, I mean, they're moving. I don't know what their speeds are, but they're cranking, and they do this. We did it once. They're 40 miles, you know, they're moving quick, and they're doing a lot of laps. I'll tell you, you got to be a real true athlete to do this. But a lot of fun. They have Mayor Di Natale and Mayor Worcester come out, Joe Petty, and just a lot of fun and good sports, you know. And so tomorrow I get a chance to do this all over again, and then again on Sunday. So it'll be a lot of fun.
Well, it's terrific, and Leominster's become a great host for the Longsjo. We thank you so much, Dean. We'll see you around.
Oh, thanks for coming down. It's a good chance for people to see what's going on if they couldn't make it.
The 2016 Longsjo Classic continues.
It's great to see these mayor's race and that they're all racing for charity. It's always nice to see the public relations people come out and talk to us.
This is a live event right now. Of course, we're downtown Fitchburg. So much going on. We've got the food trucks down at the municipal offices on Boulder Drive, the bike rodeo and helmet giveaway this morning. Rollstone Bank and Trust again sponsoring that event along with Joel Caddy. Just, you know, super, super event. Bike safety very much in the forefront with Fitchburg Police Department doing some fitting of the helmets down there. Just some incredible stuff. But back to the race, you know, Stephanie, so much has gone on in the last 50, 60 years with this progression.
It's been incredible to see not only the riders progress, but the bikes that they're riding progress as well.
And of course, athletes, as we know them, you know, it's come to join all gender, all age groups. It's really something incredible.
Definitely all age groups, because I mean, we've got the kids race coming up, and you know, those little cuties are adorable.
They are. So as we move on, there's still plenty of time to come down, enjoy the venue. There's a Jumbotron, again sponsored by Rollstone Bank and Trust. You can pick up a shady spot, put your blanket down. Food trucks just east of us, perfect.
And we got a chance to catch up with some pretty powerful women that are in the pedal power team in Leominster, and you got a chance to talk with them.
And of course, bicycle racing is represented by both sexes, and well done at Pedal Power. Erin and Lauren with me. Lauren, it's great to see you. You're a local girl, basically, from Sutton. Tell us a little bit more about Pedal Power.
So Pedal Power is a training service. So Sarah Bresnick, she runs the bike team that we race for, and also she runs a full-service training company. She does coaching programs, she does bike fits, making sure that you're dialed in and sitting on your bike properly, and she's also a physical therapist. So one-stop shop.
Great venue, of course. You've got the three cities, Worcester, Leominster, and of course, all ending in Fitchburg. Erin, this has got to be a great venue.
This is my favorite race of the year. This is my 4th time here. I got a cousin who's a lawyer right in town. He comes out to watch. It's a great race. It's always fast.
Very, very nice. So it's built over the years, and obviously there's sponsorship. How do you sit right now?
It's great. I mean, the race has really come a long way over the last couple of years. You know, it kind of really made a big comeback with a different format with these downtown criteriums, getting the town out, getting more people involved. So it's really grown over the last few years. The women's fields in particular, we have a huge women's field this year. There's almost 50 riders every night, so it's going to be a really impressive show.
We'll be looking for Erin and Lauren as Longsjo 2016 continues.
Now this is a live event, as you said, so there is still plenty of time and plenty of area for people to come in and hang out, and there's a lot of great shops around. So, I mean, come in and check out Main Street and see what's new.
Yeah, you know, Stephanie, this year, of course, the start-finish line moved up towards the Workers' Credit Union area, the intersection there where the Rollstone Jumbotron is, and of course, across the street, the Rollstone Boulder Cafe is open for business. They've got something brand new, of course, and that is the Longsjo Lager for the adults in the group, that age bracket.
And it's great to see Wachusett taking a real interest in what's going on in Fitchburg with the Longsjo, and know that it's such an important piece of Fitchburg's history that they made their own beer for it.
Yeah. Major sponsors, of course, Rick Roberti Auto Sales on River Street, and he's been a mainstay for this event. That's what it takes. And, of course, all the volunteers. Don Injemy, race director, Alan Atwood, all of the folks that come and make this thing happen, Jim Ring, Richard Fries, just a great opportunity to come down, enjoy this city, and do something special.
And you mentioned Rick Roberti, and he's got 3 new Mercedes that he's running as pace cars this year.
Yeah. Had an opportunity to drive one of them yesterday in the Worcester race, which was an incredible opportunity and a lot of fun.
And it was awesome to see you get to drive that. We got some still images that, you know, you'll never be able to live those down.
You, Stephanie Allison, got a chance to visit with the folks at the Boulder Cafe, and we actually have a clip telling us more about Longsjo Lager.
Here in the historic Boulder Cafe, founded in 1934, we're going to be talking about this year's special beer, which is a Longsjo Lager. And it's from Wachusett, and I have Dan from Wachusett here to tell me a little bit about it.
So the Longsjo Lager was just an awesome way that we can give back to the community. We're a local company and have always been supported so locally by the city of Fitchburg and the area. So just something simple we could do for you guys in the company. So thanks for having us.
And what kind of a beer is it? Would you say it's a heavy or?
It's a light, crispy lager. It's a traditional German lager, brewed with the German purity laws.
Awesome. And I have Chris and Rhea, who are the owners of this great establishment, and you're big sponsors of the Longsjo. Can you tell me a little bit about what this year's means for you?
I think every year the Longsjo brings a lot of activity and energy to the city that, you know, a lot of us can thrive off of. It gives an opportunity from people outside of the state and the community to see what truly can happen in a small town trying to recover from some change. And there's a legacy with the race, and there's a legacy with the history of the boulder, and we embrace it yearly through the Longsjo. So we're happy to participate however we can.
And getting the crowds here on race day helps a lot too, huh?
It's a good day.
And are you guys participating in the Brewfest this year that's going on?
Be there tomorrow morning, bright and early, 10 o'clock.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys for taking the time out of your busy schedules to talk to us. And stay more for some race coverage.